The African country of Sudan, already battered by war, is now suffering through its worst cholera outbreak in years. According to the charitable organization Doctors Without Borders, since the outbreak began last year, more than 100,000 suspected cases have been reported, and there have been nearly 2,500 cholera-related deaths. Joining us now is Matthew Smith from the from the Sudan Relief Fund. Matthew, thank you for joining us. Can you describe for us the current situation in Sudan?
Well, the humanitarian situation in Sudan is abysmal. I would classify it as the worst humanitarian crisis on earth right now. A lot of that's being driven by the massive displacement of people due to the ongoing civil conflict between the RSF, the Rapid Support Forces, and the SAF, the Sudanese Armed Forces. And the massive amount of displacement is leading to terrible health outcomes like we've seen recently with this cholera outbreak, which is mainly due to bad water or contaminated food. Largely preventable, but we're seeing it in large numbers because of the poor humanitarian conditions.
Well, how often do outbreaks like this one happen? Is this rare?
Well, in instances of war, I would say that it's somewhat common because you have large amounts of people that are gathered in camps, or what frankly I think can hardly be described as camps. That's, I think, honestly putting it a little bit too nicely. It's just large amounts of people gathered together with little to no sanitation, little to no clean water. And so what you see then is a very quick and rapid spread. It happens very quickly, and once it starts spreading, if there is not an immediate response, it can just spread like wildfire.
You mentioned that Sudan is in the midst of a civil war, and we've reported on that over the last couple of weeks. Many refugees have fled to the city of Al Fasher, close to the town of Tawila, a hotbed of this outbreak. Could we see the number of cases spike because of these moves?
Absolutely. We're seeing, and even closer to the border of South Sudan, we're seeing cholera outbreaks, and I think it's largely due to this movement of people that you just referred to. Oftentimes, people are just trying to escape a bomb falling into their home, and so they leave and often find themselves in these terrible camps with deteriorating humanitarian and health conditions, and they're willing to take the risk. And so we're seeing all across Sudan, we're seeing that cholera spread pretty quickly.
What's being done there to provide aid, to provide relief?
Well, you can do a few things. I mean, primarily, you'd love to get vaccinations in. There is, and it can usually be administered pretty simply at a young age. But outside of that, you can administer oral rehydration. But really, long-term and big picture, you need to have humanitarian agencies come in and actually provide reliable, clean water sources. So a group like Sudan Relief Fund, other organizations similar to ours are drilling water wells. That's really the primary way, long-term, to stop cholera. But in the midst of civil war, it can be challenging, especially for aid groups, to get into these parts where there is such need and actually provide this water. But in the meantime, you try to mitigate with things like vaccines and oral rehydration.
Well, we'll be looking out for your analysis in the future as the situation continues to unfold. Thank you so much for your work, Matthew.